It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Jets. And it comes your way next.
We are situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Anders Carlson has this teed up, ready to get started. And we are underway from MetLife Stadium. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
Rodgers going to the air to start things out. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
We'll have to see what kind of looks this defense is going to throw at him as this game moves along, but they're in a zone to start. I do think we'll see plenty of man coverage as we move along, but the first throw of this one, incomplete.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Here's Rodgers to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So 2 incompletions have led them to an early 3rd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Flushed out right. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this was we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Jets will take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And not only does he have all the skills that you're looking for as a quarterback, he's incredibly tough and plays the game fearlessly as both a runner and a passer. You provide a good running game around him and let him throw deep off of play action, you've got an all-star in the making.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On first down, right back to Hall. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Cameron Hayward getting upfield to make the stop.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. To throw is Fields. This one finds Wilson downfield. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson, 55 yards. And the Jets will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Anders Carlson now for the point after. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And Garrett Wilson capped things off with a touchdown grab. So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play with one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown. They got the stop. And now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
Now it's Fields. Over the middle and complete to Wilson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now a 2nd and 2. A give running right is Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now Fields. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9. Hall again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. Eluding the pressure right. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Out of the gun, Fields.
He's got the hook up to Lazard, and he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Here's Fields.
And his throw here's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7.
Back to throw, Fields.
Flush to his right. Oh, able to avoid him. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
The Steelers ready to take over on offense.
Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Rodgers going to throw. He finds Austin complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it 2nd down and 11. Up the middle, Johnson.
And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8.
Shotgun now for Rodgers.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This offense is starting to get into rhythm. A nice quick throw there on target, able to pick up another first down.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. They'll give up the middle to Johnson. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Throwing is Rodgers.
That's over the middle and caught by the rookie.
His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Here's Johnson again on 2nd down.
And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll send Austin in motion right.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers.
Across the formation, he hits Austin.
And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 15-yard line. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Now Rodgers.
Targeting the out route, and he completes this to Metcalf. And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Johnson. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Johnson again. And I don't think he got in. He did not. They mark him short of the goal line.
Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
About a half yard from the end zone, 3rd and goal.
Now Rodgers. Escape, and he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
So a decision to make there. They decline the penalty as they'd rather force the 4th down.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
And now out come the Jets.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Fields.
And a completion to Wilson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here's Fields.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Fields now to throw.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's the Jets punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now Austin. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead.
He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth.
Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Throwing now is Rodgers. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Rodgers. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. DK Metcalf, 47 yards. And the Steelers will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Jets going to take over now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a 1-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. Throwing to start the drive. Fields. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw is Fields. This pass out wide to Hall. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They'll look to throw now on first down. This one finds Wilson downfield. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's good for 28 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Throwing again is Fields. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Fields. That is incomplete.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, this from 33. And his kick is indeed good, and that will knot us up at 10. So they're able to make things level just before half and also leave very, very little time on the clock.
And I love the way that you phrased that. Brought a little soccer into it, and that's really apropos considering they just kicked a field goal to tie things up.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Jets offense and receiver Garrett Wilson ready to get going again. And you see the numbers for him into this third quarter. They just pop off the screen. He has been open throughout. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Hall again. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Now it's Fields. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Here's the Jets punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Rodgers now to throw. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room, too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fair catch called for and collected right at the 10-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Hall to start the drive. And he takes this across the 15 to the 17. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Hall again on 2nd down. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 43 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. This pass complete. He finds Jeremy Ruckert. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Straight ahead is Hall.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got it for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you on every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
Back to throw. Fields. His pass complete to Ruckert.
A gain of 8 there on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down.
Here's Fields. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Here's a diving catch right side. And he's going to be brought down right there at the 29-yard line.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
They'll get this out wide to Metcalf.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
So from the 37, here's 2nd and 2.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers.
Complete to Austin here over the middle.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. All even as we get ready to start the 4th.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
A toss left side, Johnson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
Rodgers going to throw. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there, getting him to first. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And that is incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our fourth quarter tie. Boswell's kick is good, and they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And able to get this out to the 25.
And New York set to take the field.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Connection made to Ruckert. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Fields.
That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Give to Hall running right. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 74 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll go again with Hall. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. They'll give to Hall. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the past, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
They'll run with Hall. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And his kick here is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Will McDonald there on the tackle.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
On play action, it's Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? Yeah, you only get a 1-yard buffer there from the line of scrimmage, and he got downfield a little too far, and the flag came out. Shotgun now for Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And this is going to be a Steelers first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Rodgers to throw. Connecting with Johnson.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so he can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. Now Rodgers. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, the defense certainly did its job. They held up in that situation, and now on 4th down, you've got to punt this and try to get to overtime. There's no decision to be made in my estimation.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. The Jets offense and Breece Hall headed out onto the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Fields. It's complete. Lazard. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
And they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Here's 1st down. All eyes on Fields. That is caught. Josh Reynolds. And he's able to get it all the way down to the 20. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. This is 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll come up now on 2nd down. Hall again. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. An important one here, no doubt. 3rd and 4. A give running right is Hall. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And his kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. So a pressure kick there by the young man, and that should be enough to finish this one off.
Well, he's a second-year guy now, so he says, don't call me a rookie anymore. And I tell you, he's got a bright future in this league. And kicks like that are going to make sure he sticks around for a good long while.
Carlson back out there now to send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Back to throw, Rodgers. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Here comes 2nd down. To throw is Rodgers. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
One final try now for Rodgers. Keeps himself upright, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner, although on that last play they were so backed up it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it, because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded, because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Jets as we say so long from MetLife Stadium.